What are you here to teach in your business? In this week's video, I want to dive into this topic. I've had a number of videos where I talk about ideal client and your messaging, and I want to dive a bit deeper into this as far as how it relates to you and your story and what you've been through. And ideal client drama is one of the biggest things I see people get stuck on over and over and over again in their business. And even as your business evolves and as you grow in your business, most likely you're going to see an evolution of your ideal client or the person that you are working with as well. And so I want you to know that and not feel like, oh my gosh, you have to have one ideal client for the whole life of your business, because that is typically not how it works. And if you know me and my story at all, I started originally helping people around digestive issues as I have a background in functional medicine. Then I ended up working with women around emotional eating and body image, something that I had struggled with myself, and now helping coaches start and grow coaching businesses, because my focus has evolved as well in my journey. And so my ideal client has evolved. And so one of the things I've come across lately that I want to share with you is this idea of your sacred scar. I actually came across this when I was doing some oracle card reading, and the oracle card is by Alana Fairchild, and it's called the White Light Oracle Deck. And I picked this card like 15 times in a row. And so I definitely feel like it's something I'm meant to share, and something that I'm supposed to embrace even deeper in my own life. And so the message that was in this card is that which has caused pain in your life has led to a transformation for you and to higher knowledge and inner power for yourself. Okay. And I think that when we can coach from this place, that this is truly the most powerful place that we can coach from, because we go through this transformation ourselves. We learn all of this wisdom through the process, and we can take this and share it with the world and share it with your clients and help them with the same things that we have struggled with. And the other thing that's really powerful around this is that it allows people to let go of the shame around the things that they've been struggling with. So for a lot of us, we have tons of shame around these things that we have gone through in our life that have been super challenging. You know, we feel bad for having gone through them. We're like, I shouldn't have struggled with this. And for many things, we do feel that shame around it, especially if it's something, something around like emotional eating, or I have clients who help people who have gone through like divorces and stuff like that. Like a lot of times we have this shame around these things, and we're like, oh my gosh, we feel bad having gone through them. We feel bad that we're not perfect. And so when you can share that you've gone through these same things, it takes away some of that shame for people. Because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one. And for so many of us, we feel like we're kind of having to hide these things or not talk about them, like these huge things that we've gone through our life that have been deeply transformational. And so you're giving other people permission to talk about it, and for it not to be this big shameful thing. Okay. And the other thing is understanding like there's a higher purpose behind the things that we have gone through in our life. Even if they have been extremely challenging, a lot of times we needed that challenge in order for us to see the light, to change our ways, to actually make that transformation. And so just really seeing the gift in that. And I think when we can see that and, like I said, teach other people what we have learned, there's so much power in that. Okay. And really like going through these situations can make you, it's what makes you a healer. It's what makes you a light bearer, someone who can be a coach and help other people based off of your own transformation. Okay. So really our greatest struggle is often our pathway to our potential, right? And it's funny because a lot of coaches think like, oh my gosh, I'm not perfect. I'm still working on this. Like, this is something I still have challenges with. And this is the thing. By you helping other people with something that you will never be perfect at, because none of us are ever perfect, it actually allows you to transform even deeper, right? Like, it's one thing to go through something yourself, but once you start teaching other people and supporting other people with this thing, you transform on an even deeper level, which is super, super powerful. So for a lot of us, I think if you're being called to coach, that this is another level, deeper level of your transformational journey. Okay. And so you can let go of this idea that you have to be perfect, because none of us ever are. And you will always be working on this big thing that you are often helping other people with, because this is kind of your life path, right? Like your life lesson, this thing you're here to learn and continue to evolve in even deeper. And then the other thing, obviously letting people know that you get it. This allows them to release shame around it, which is huge when it comes to actually healing something and moving through it. Letting people know that you know the way, right? You've been there. You know what needs to happen in order to transform the situation. You know what's possible for them. So you are on the other side. Like I said, that doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but you've gone through this, you've transformed this, and you know what is possible. You know how amazing it is when you can move through this, learn through it, and take those lessons into your life and apply them, right? And so this is a super powerful place to be teaching from as well, okay? And so I want you to just like reflect on this, and you can ask yourself, you know, what are my sacred scars? Like, what are the things, the huge transformations, the really challenging things that I've been through in my life? You know, I have a number of them. I have ones that, you know, obviously the emotional eating piece has been huge. I've had ones with relationships, and then obviously like my life purpose, career, the business side of things, like doing what I'm meant to be doing. Obviously, this is what I'm teaching on now, but you know, that's been a huge one for me too, and kind of the one that's most relevant in my life right now. So it's what I'm teaching on, and sharing with others. So go through that for yourself. Let me know in the comments when you go through and you're like, okay, my sacred scars, what are these things, these huge life lessons for me that have most likely been very challenging? Let me know in the comments, like, what's the biggest one that comes up for you? Because often this is a sign to your ideal client, and a sign of where you're meant to be guiding other people. Okay. So go ahead and apply this. I know you're going to find it super helpful. And thank you for joining me in this week's video. And I hope to see you next week. Oh, and if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you want more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. I do new videos each week. And hit the little bell if you want to get a notification. I will see you next time.